All right, beautiful Friday evening here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and hopefully you guys are enjoying your wonderful Friday evening as well. It is pick number 27. We are on rolling here for the 2024 NFL mock draft. Just a couple more episodes to go, and then that'll do it. Just a few more to go. We have today. Tomorrow will be the last of the single digits. Tuesday, we will be back Tuesday to finish out the season for picks 31 and 32. As always, Brandon will be joining me on Instagram Live at the All Sports Talk podcast. While if you want to watch me and all our other friends on the YouTube page, we are at the Jack's Wild Sports Show on YouTube Live. So today it is pick number 27, the Texans. We're going to be talking about the Texans today, but we're going to be doing Arizona's second selection. This was the Will Anderson trade that was delegated last year. And this is the pick of Houston that Arizona has received because of the Will Anderson trade. So this is it. So, I mean, it's pretty good. 27. I mean, I don't think a lot of people expected Houston to be in this situation, to be here, but it is what it is, and here we are. And speaking of which, Brandon, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's Friday, so everything is going good. We're at pick 27. I was just telling the good folks tomorrow is pick number 28, which is the Buffalo Bills. We're going to be talking about them, and you know, we're just going to talk about their problems and everything, and then Sunday we will do the conference losers. The Baltimore. Hopefully, you guys can join us for that one as well. But today it's about pick 27. Like I just mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about the Texans, Will Anderson. So, Brandon, without further ado, are you ready to go?
I am ready.
All right, here we go then. The Texans finishing 10-7, winning the AFC South. Have really opened up the eye. Ryan's proved that he is a head coach worthy of being a head coach. Sure, we can say that, maybe something happened with Houston this year, but I think we all know what happened. The Houston Texans drafted CJ Stroud at number 2. There's no secret. To this running game. after being let go and not really being a thought, for a minute, not really being a thought. But he did everything in his power to kind of get that magic, and boy, did he! Especially if you picked him up in fantasy at the late end of the year, 898 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns, and Nico Collins. Who saw that coming? You know, who saw that coming? 80 receptions, 1,297 yards, 8 touchdowns. Who saw that coming? You know, and then you look on the defensive side, Blake Cashman, 106 combined tackles, Jonathan Greenard, 12 and a half sacks, and Derek Stingley having a bounce back sophomore year with 5 interceptions. Brandon, what do we think about this team? How do we feel about this team, Brandon? Was it a flash in the pan, or is there something more to this team?
It was not a flash in the pan. I do not think that. I truly believe that this is not that. Devin Singleton literally let go by Buffalo because they couldn't figure it out, which fucking Buffalo. Because they couldn't figure out how to have a good running game, running team. Because their freaking running game was Josh Allen. They just let him walk free and just let him go straight to Houston. Just let him walk straight to Houston. And here's the crazy part. It's not like Dameon Pierce was bad his rookie year. He actually had a really good rookie year. He just didn't fit the scheme that they were trying to run this upcoming season. So, this last season. So, I don't have any, problems with the Houston Texans. But here's the thing. We said this the moment when Carolina took the number 1 pick from Chicago last year, and we said the best quarterback on the board is C.J. Stroud. And they listened to experts, and just like Chicago this year, listened to experts, and they drafted who they were supposed to draft. But C.J. Stroud was supposed to be the number 1 overall pick. Let's get that shit out.
Remember, I had him number 1.
But I had him at 2 because I knew Carolina was stupid. And I knew Carolina was stupid. I knew it. I knew it was coming. I knew it was stupid. I knew they were stupid. But I believe that C.J. Stroud is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I only needed to see 1 year because the man was a winner at Ohio State. I know. He didn't win a national championship. Michigan didn't win one until this fucking last season. What the fuck are y'all talking about? And now you're putting J.J. McCarthy as the 4th best quarterback. Some people got him going second. Some people think he's the second best quarterback. That dude. That guy. And C.J. Stroud outplayed him every time they played. But yet, C.J. Stroud was second to Bryce Young. Some people didn't even think he should have been drafted in the first round last year.
I remember this. I remember this.
Talk. It happened.
Because of his low test scores.
Low test scores, and he comes from Ohio State. Name me the best Ohio State quarterback. Okay. C.J. Stroud. That was easy. Damn, that was easy. That was easy. Who has the potential to be the next best? Justin Fields. Wow, that was easy. Wow, look at that. That was so easy. It's the problem that people have. And then just make it even fucking worse for everyone is just the fact that Will Anderson just somehow, some way just ended up in Houston regardless. There was a conversation that Will Anderson should be 2 and C.J. Stroud should be drafted late. And then Houston was like, we're going to get this right. So we're going to take the quarterback first.
We're going to get that out the way.
You get that first. We always talk about it. They have a calm, cool demeanor. When they got C.J. Stroud, they're like, yeah, that's great. Woo! Yeah. Okay. Will Anderson. Wow!
Like, woo!
They lost their shit. It's like, God.
They literally look like Tobey Maguire from the first Spider-Man when he was climbing the wall. He looks that. Like, yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. That's what you have. That's what you have to do if you want to be a good team like that. The thing was this: CJ Stroud, we saw potential. We saw. Listen, there's no wrong answer. It's CJ Stroud. Then you add Will Anderson to this team. It's like, yeah, this is. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think they were going to compete, but I thought they could at least be competitive enough to where, hey, we could talk about them. And boy, did they ever compete.
I thought they would compete. I thought they would be good. And I thought they would be at least, well, I wouldn't say be good. I thought they'd be okay. I thought they could win. I didn't expect them to win the fucking division, but I expected them to be good.
And not only win the division, but actually win a playoff game.
And dominate in the playoff game.
And keep it close in Baltimore up until the second half.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson went into that tunnel and then shit just changed.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, that was sort of it. So, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, so the fact that the Houston Texans literally had Baltimore Ravens competing until the halftime. Nobody overachieved more than the Houston Texans this year. The Houston Tech. Now I know people are going to sit here. What about the Lions? We saw this train miles ago.
Again, we saw this train. Just like we saw the Jacksonville Jaguars play. We literally said last year, Jacksonville, you cannot lose this division. We said this shit last year.
We literally looked at each other and said, yeah, this is Jacksonville's division to lose. There's no way.
Don't lose the division. And immediately after we said that, I knew a disturbance in the force. I knew something bad was about to happen in Jacksonville. I knew it was coming. I knew it. That's why I was like prepping for it. I was like, yeah, they're going to lose this damn division. I see it coming on the horizon. I see it. So it kind of feels bad because I feel like we tell people this before it happens. And either we're going to get it right this year or next year, but it's going to happen.
Hey, we can't tell you when, but it's going to happen.
It's going to happen. And I'm telling people right now. Now, it might not happen this season. It might happen next year. But I will say this. I promise you this. Houston is going to be in a Super Bowl in the next 3 years.
If they keep building like they're doing, I mean, yeah.
They will be in a Super Bowl in the next 3 years. It's going to happen. And I cannot stress that enough because I'm looking at this team. Will Anderson is coming into his second year. I'm pretty sure he's probably going to lead the team in sacks if he doesn't get injured. And I hope not. You got now an actual number one, could be a 2, could be a 3. Before Tank Dell got injured, he was actually one of the best receivers you had.
Yeah, he was doing his thing.
And now you add to the fact that this team is getting better. I'm telling people right now, as good as Kansas City has been, they're doomed at some point. Andy Reid is probably going to retire. It's only a matter of time Travis Kelce slows down. You do not have a number one receiver, and your number one receiver just turned himself in today. I don't know what you do with this situation, but I do know one thing. The only team I can see even possibly being there with Houston in the next couple of years is Cincinnati. And that all relies on Joe Burrow if he's healthy.
And I think that's what it really comes down to is health because, when we look at this Houston team, I mean, understand this. David Mills, God bless his soul, he tried, right? And I'm a big David Mills fan. You know how much I liked him coming out of Stanford and everything. I was a big David Mills advocate because I knew, listen, he's not a quality franchise starter.
You know how bad it got to be for you to be that, to say literally, I love David Mills. God bless his soul. He tried.
But you know what? He took it like a champ and he said, listen, man, they drafted him at 2 for a reason. I'm okay. Because he did his thing. He showed at least, hey, I know if shit goes haywire, I can come in. I can play in the NFL, which is good. But let's be serious for 2 seconds here. This is what happened. CJ Stroud went in. And here's the thing. I remember after the first preseason game, I still find this funny. Did you see how bad CJ Stroud looked like against New England in the preseason? Like, dude, look at that secondary. Do you understand that there are some pros out there that would be like, shit, that's a pretty good secondary. And that pass rush is still good. So, yeah, this is still pretty good defense. And lo and behold, the Patriots still had a defense. Oh, wow. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought?
That might have been the healthiest the Patriots defense was the whole fucking season, including the regular.
Yeah. So one preseason game and people were like, bust. Bryce Young had an amazing preseason debut. This is why you take him number one. Now, I want those people to come back to me. Do you still feel that way? Do you? Because I have proof. I have video proof. Last year, CJ Stroud, when I was talking about Carolina, you better take him because that's a true franchise quarterback. Nope. Never won a national title. Okay, that's fine. Well, and I said we'll come back and revisit this in 1 year. You listen, you hear that? You hear that? Silence. And this is how sick and demented I am. You remember that South Park episode of the cable company? Where it's like, oh no, gee, that's too bad. Like, oh no, you're telling me that CJ Stroud could actually be better than Bryce Young? Oh no, that's too bad. Oh yeah. It's beautiful. It's beautiful when I have people tell me, this, and that, and I don't know what the F I'm talking about. I'm so sorry that you're going through a rough patch right now. Let me use that lubricant tonight. Let me use those tears as lubricant tonight, please. That's how I feel. That's how much I want to tell all you guys right now. That's how it should be. Shit got sick and demented real quick, huh? That's right. That's right. And I know people already telling us we're crazy that we think that Mac Jones could replace Trevor Lawrence. Okay, I'll come back in another year.
We're crazy for saying Keanu Williams is the fifth best quarterback probably in the draft.
We were crazy. We were crazy to say, yeah, Green Bay has to move on from Aaron Rodgers for the betterment of the franchise. No, you can't get rid of a Hall of Famer. Okay.
We were super crazy when we said Jordan Love is not the problem in Green Bay. Just give it time.
Look at that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But yet, we just do this for fun. We get to do what we do because we're not on a payroll or anything like that. We do this for fun. But the problem is I feel like I know I can do a better job than Mel Kiper. I know this. Now, Merrill Hodge, I don't think so, because Merrill Hodge is like a fucking fortune teller. It seems like he's a fucking fortune teller. I don't know.
I want people to understand something. Truly understand something. I had to listen to NFL chatter this entire week leading up to this upcoming draft, and I literally had to see people say, is Drake May more of a risk than J.J. McCarthy? Now, Merrill Hodge, legend, icon, some of the takes he says, I totally agree with. But that Drake May take is a little, I don't know about that one.
Could it get you fired? Could. Yeah. If you fuck up, if you don't, like, is Mac Jones a bad quarterback? No, it's just New England failed to build around him. New England drafted a quarterback the year after.
I want people to stop sitting. If Drake May is somebody that could get you fired, J.J. McCarthy could get you to sell your fucking franchise. Like, that shit is fucking luck. I don't know this. I don't give a shit what you think you see. What I have saw is the fact that on the road, no head coach, your offensive coordinator, who is the interim head coach, said, hey, JJ, listen, bro, what we're going to do in the next half is literally hand the ball off. You don't want me to throw the ball? No. Just give it to the running back and run the fucking ball the rest of the game.
Now, granted.
Are you sure? Yes.
Now, granted, give it up for Penn State's defense to mess up the pass game. But the fact is,
quarterback. A franchise quarterback, you can't do shit like that. You cannot go into a game and say,
hey, we're just going to hand it off all game.
We're going to give the ball up the rest of the game, 32 plays straight. We're going to run the fucking football. In what world is that a franchise fucking quarterback?
NFL? No less. But anyway, it's neither here nor there.
This man is not Ryan Tannehill. You can't just survive by giving the ball up to Derrick Henry all day. He doesn't even have it. He's not going to have it, Derrick Henry. This is not good.
If he goes where he's supposed to go, if the reports are true that he goes to Denver, yeah, he doesn't have a Derrick Henry. Now, he's got a Javonte Williams, but you really want to run that man to the ground? Just saying. I'm just saying. Now, all this is nice and dandy, and here's the thing. I think, to me, this is where I think I started taking Houston a little bit more serious. It was after the Tampa Bay game where Tampa Bay scored. All hope is lost for Houston. They drive down the field and they score, and there's only like 3 seconds left. And I'm like, wow, he did that. They drove down the field. They did that shit. And this is before Dalton Schultz, Nico Collins, and Dave Single were like exploding. This was like their, oh shit, they are a team. But granted, I think that to me was like, hey, he's him. Like this was the right pick for Houston. They both were. Now, season goes on, they win the division, which is still funny to this day because what we kept saying is Jacksonville, you can't lose this division. Like, it is literally yours. Two rookie quarterbacks, and one team that hates their quarterback room. That Mike Vrabel basically came out and said, I'd rather not play all of them. Any of them. Like, Mike Vrabel looked at everybody's like, I'd rather have fucking Derrick Henry throw the football. I'd rather have my wide receivers, Treylon Burks, throw the football. And guess what? He did, technically. He did, technically. So, yeah, and imagine a division where it's like, okay, you got 2 rookie quarterbacks. You have 2 quarterbacks that are rookies. You have 3 quarterbacks in one team that nobody likes. This should be a division. But Trevor Lawrence got hurt. I don't want to hear that shit.
For real.
Anthony Richardson went down, and Gardner Minshew almost took the Colts to the playoffs. And they have nowhere near the talent like fucking the Jacksonville Jaguars have. If CJ Stroud was the only thing wrong with Houston, then maybe we were looking at Houston a little too harshly. Because if that's the case, this is more impressive than how you guys won the division last year. And here's the thing. They didn't even throw the game away. They actually competed in the playoffs. So, but now there's no more hiding. There's no more hiding now. This is for real. So, game's over. They go to Baltimore. They try to hang tough. Halftime happens. They come out. Hey, we knew Baltimore was going to win. We're just surprised that you gave them a hell of a half a game. Like, that was a hell of a first half. And then it's not only the fact that you made it to Baltimore. It's look who you beat to get to Baltimore. You beat Cleveland, who at one point we said, Baltimore might be the most complete team, but Cleveland's defense might be just the best unit overall. Yeah. And so there's no shame in how Texans got here. Now, can I admit that they over-exceeded expectations? 100%. Like, 100%. Like, I was thinking to myself, yeah, Arizona's about to have, like, back-to-back, top picks. This is going to be great. They can get a wide receiver. They can get a top offensive lineman again. They can do this. They can do that. No, 4th and 27. And 4 was because of you. So this is how free agency went. And now, the great season that they had, this is the type of offseason they had. So they lose their sack leader, Jonathan Grinard. They lose their leading tackle, and Blake Cashman. They lose their leading rusher in Devin Singletary. So Jonathan Greener goes to Minnesota. Blake Cashman goes to Minnesota. Devin Singletary goes to the Giants. George Fant goes to Seattle. And Denzel Perryman goes back to the Los Angeles Chargers. Well, damn, that's pretty. Those are pretty good names that they lost. So how do they do it? Not much. They just signed Aziz Al-Shahir, the linebacker from Tennessee. They got Danico Autry, the defensive lineman veteran from Tennessee. Tommy Townsend, who's been a great punter for Kansas City the last 2 years, is now there. So now their special teams unit is set. Jeff Okuda, the former first rounder, is now in Houston to pair up with Derek Stingley. And above all else, they got Daniel Hunter, the pass rusher from Minnesota. Oh, and then if you think that wasn't good enough, here's what they did. They traded for Joe Mixon, and they traded for Stephon Diggs. So Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and John Mechie, that was the 1, 2, 3 last year. This year they have 1, 2, 3, 4.
With Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, with Dalton Schultz. It's not fair. But see, this is my message to New England. You see, when your quarterback gives you a promising rookie season, you might want to capitalize it by bringing in players and trying to improve the team. Not have everybody leave all at once like the plane crash in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. The Houston Texans. See, here's the thing. One Texas team is trying to go all in. So I'm assuming when Jerry Jones said we're all in, I think he was speaking for a certain team in the state of Texas.
He said it right. We're all in his mind. We're all in his mind. Like, that is exactly what the fuck he thought he was saying. He was like, yeah, we're all in. And then it didn't
register. It didn't register fast enough.
It hasn't foreshadowed.
Now imagine this. Imagine this. Joe Mixon is now your new starting running back. Still with Dameon Pierce. Now you have Stephon Diggs at 1. Nico Collins at 2. Tank Dell is your slot. And John Mechie is your speedster that you can use as special teams and passing packages just to go deep. You can't cover everybody. That's a lot of speed, and that's a lot of talent on the field at one freaking time.
Is it safe to say that the Texans' offense might be what the Eagles' offense was 2 years ago when they got to the Super Bowl?
I think it could be better than that. I think it could be Kansas City's offense the first time Kansas City went to the Super Bowl.
I think so too.
Because here's the thing. With Patrick Mahomes, he had to learn how to be this precise quarterback. Remember, when he was coming out of Texas Tech, he was not ready. And he'll tell you himself, he was not ready. He is forever grateful that Alex Smith taught him for 1 year how to be a pro quarterback. You want to know the difference between C.J. Stroud and Patrick Mahomes is? C.J. Stroud was ready to be a franchise quarterback. He didn't need to sit. He didn't need to learn. He just needed to know, hey, which team am I going on and what offense are we running?
Remember when I said last year that I think the Texans, if they played Kansas City, they could at least beat Kansas City in Kansas City, and y'all thought I was crazy? I saw it in week, I don't know when I said that, maybe week 8, some shit like that, week 9.
Yeah.
I believe that. And it was for good fucking reason. This is for good fucking reason. I think the Texans did something that a lot of these teams don't do. They found their identity. And they found their identity early. And when you find your identity early, it's easier to figure out what pieces fit. People can sit there and try to make whatever statement. Oh, Stephon Diggs is not going to fit in Houston. He's a troublemaker. Whatever. I truly believe Stephon Diggs is going to fit perfectly in Houston.
Because here's the thing. People in Buffalo will say, "Oh, good riddance. His play was going down." Yeah, did you see who your offensive coordinator was? Like, understand this. You thought it was bad with Ken Dorsey when Stephon Diggs was averaging 79 yards a game. When you guys fired Ken Dorsey, his average went from 79 to 42 yards a game. Buffalo could have used those extra 30 yards. And here's the crazy thing about Stephon Diggs. They said, nah, man, you're on a 1-year trial. And you know what's more dangerous? Here's the thing. Stephon Diggs, the wide receiver, pretty good. Very good. Stephon Diggs, the focused, determined wide receiver, because remember what they did to his contract? They said, no, we're just going to put all those 3 years. We're going to put it into one big contract for 1 year, and it's up to you. If you do good, we'll talk about an extension. If not, you can go. Basically saying, we got our guy. So it's up to you to make it happen. So a determined Stephon Diggs in Houston now, that is scary as shit.
That's some shit you be like, who we play this week? Houston? Oh, fuck. you just immediately knew. This fucking fear and terror just runs down your body. Right? It's just like, fuck. Okay, you go on Stephon Diggs. Who you going? Nico Collins. Oh, shit, I got to go with Nico Collins.
Who's your slot covering? Who's your safety covering? Well, my safety is going to try to cover John Mechie. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And Dalton Schultz is somewhere out there all alone, so good luck. Yeah, I will say this. Houston, to their credit, is at least trying to fucking win.
Trying.
I can't say for some other teams that draft a quarterback and they do nothing. Nothing. Looking at you, New England. Looking at you. Mac Jones is a good quarterback.
Yes. He definitely is.
You just didn't. You guys just, for whatever reason, Bill Belichick, you just figured your name carries weight. Your name doesn't carry weight unless there's Tom Brady behind it. So, just throwing it out there.
Ultimate disrespect.
And what? Tell me the lie. Tell me the lie.
Look at CM Punk. Don't be doing that.
Tell me the lie.
Look at CM Punk.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt feelings? I'll tell you what. This is how you want me to be the truth? All right, here's the truth. Look at Belichick's record with Brady. Look at his record without him. The only reason he got an extra year in New England is because of loyalty, which Robert Kraft was stupid to give him. The second Brady left, what did I tell you the second Brady left? It's only a matter of time. Yeah, he did. Three winning seasons without Brady out of his 20-year coaching. Yeah, okay.
It wasn't just because of loyalty. I think also they won a playoff. They went to the playoffs 2 years after Brady.
And what'd they do?
Yeah, they sucked.
Yeah, that should have been your first sign. Like, yeah, we got to cut. But, I'm not a billionaire. I don't know no team. I just see it with my eyes. But, whatever. You do you, guys. You do you. But now we get to the point of the season now. We get to the point of this Texans team. In one sense, I am a little nervous because now all eyes are on them. But I think the crazy thing about it, I don't see them falling off. I don't. Because I truly believe that D'Amico Ryans is going to get this team right. He's going to prove to them, like, listen, everybody knows who we are now. So there's no more hiding. You can't hide. But we got the team to compete. Now, Brandon, any final words before we go into our picks here for Arizona?
I think Houston's going to the AFC Championship game this year.
All right, that's a big, bold one because you got to remember, Kansas City still has Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. If Joe Burrow's healthy, we know what he can do when he's healthy. Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. I heard all of that. Yeah. My AFC Championship game is Houston versus Cincinnati.
So 3-peats out the window?
Yeah, 3-peats done. I do not expect. It's too much shit. It's too much chatter already, and you ain't even start fucking draft yet.
That is a lot of distractions for the draft before draft. You're right.
You haven't even started the draft yet. Travis Kelce and his little situation was going on with him personally, and then you got receivers.
Hey, look, man. Listen. That's hard. All right. He graduated college.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great. You already getting older, and you're trying to play tight end in the NFL. Okay, good luck. And that's the only weapon you have because when the fuck has Hollywood Brown ever been a number one receiver anywhere he's been?
Maybe this is different. Maybe this is a situation where the quarterback makes the receiver. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe pigs fly tomorrow. I don't fucking know.
I mean, hey, it could happen.
I know that's an old school thing, but maybe pigs fly tomorrow. This shit is not going to end well for these guys. Like, let's be real. Hollywood Brown has never been a number one. Congratulations. He's also on a 1-year contract. You really trust that he's going to be the number one guy now for you? Rasheed Rice, like I said, is we don't know what the fuck about to happen with him.
That's a whole mess. That honestly, I don't think football's even on the young man's mind right now.
And on top of that, we don't know what the fuck Kansas City's offensive line looks like going forward.
Well, you still have Joey Tunney.
You have
Creed Humphreys and Trey Smith.
You have the center. You have the interior. That outside sucks.
Yeah, but it was bad last year too.
But that's what I'm saying.
Is it hard to be bad 2 years in a row? Well, I mean, the thing is, for me, it's this. As long as Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid is there, they will figure it out. They will figure it out. And as long as Chris Jones is standing upright and healthy, we're good. They're good.
Yeah, that's great. Listen to me. I feel in my heart of hearts that as good as Kansas City is, they're not getting a 3-peat. They're just not. They're going to need to run up against Cincinnati, who, let's be real, they might have to play in Cincinnati this year in the playoffs.
Which doesn't matter now because they already broke that barrier of can they win on the road, which they showed that they can.
But that's okay. But that's Buffalo.
Well, that's Baltimore.
And Baltimore sucked. That was a dumbass game plan. They have to go to Cincinnati and prove it against Joe Burrow, who ain't afraid of shit.
That's a little. Now, I will say this: that is a little different. That would be a little different.
That's a lot different. That's a lot different. And CJ Stroud has shown you he clearly don't give a fuck. He ready for whatever.
He looked at Deshaun Watson in the windows of his soul and said, "Yeah, you wish you had this. You wish you had this.
I took your team, bitch.
Like you wish they loved you how they love me right now."
I made them forget your name, bitch.
Like you wish that was you, huh? You thought you wish that was you, huh?
I made them forget your name, bitch.
You know, it's just one of those things, you know? It's just one of those things. I think when we're looking at the Houston Texans, when we think of the Houston Texans, I don't think teams should look at them as maybe it was just a one-off. No. They have the right. The problem. See, the thing is, it would be just a one-off if Bill O'Brien was the head coach.
And Matt Schaub was still the quarterback.
And Matt Schaub was still the quarterback. This isn't a one-off. They have their franchise quarterback set in place. They have the receivers to do it, and they have a defense that will turn up and play because of DeMeco Ryan. So, yeah, that's just how it is. But all right, Brandon.
Also, this is not a one-off. Like last night when we talked about Tampa Bay, that shit was a one-off. Like that shit.
That could be a one-off.
One-off. Like you could feel it. It was you knew.
Because I mean, and here's the thing: Tennessee is now in a stage where we don't know what's about to happen. Wow. Oh, wow. We got some breaking news here, NHL wise. The Phoenix Coyotes have been informed that the team is moving to Utah.
Okay. Yes. That came out, I think, a couple of days ago.
Well, no, they made it official. The Coyotes ownership just made that shit official.
Oh shit! Wow.
So, if you guys want some vintage shit, the Phoenix Coyotes vintage jerseys, now's the time to get them because apparently they're moving this offseason.
And they've only been in Phoenix for like a decade.
No, they've been longer than that. At least 30 years. I think here's the problem, and I know we'll get to the pick here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Here's the issue that I think what happened. What was the ultimate downfall of Phoenix? Because I have been watching this closely, and I always hated it when an NHL team relocates. Well, let's start this off. I hate when any team relocates because it's just not fair, right? Though I think what happened in Phoenix was this: the fans are loyal. But when you don't put out a good product, they're not going to show.
Yeah.
And I think ownership tried to make it work, but ultimately, I think Phoenix just said, we're good. I think this is more on Phoenix saying, you can leave, we'll figure it out. Good luck to you guys. Now, does that mean that Phoenix could get another team or Arizona can get a team down the road? Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think they can get a team down the road. I don't know how long because obviously, it's not going to be right away. But I mean, let's be real. The Browns moved in 95 to Baltimore and then they came back in 99. So, I mean, it could be 5 years, it could be 10 years. But I think eventually in my lifetime, I think there will be one more Phoenix team go around and everything. I just think ultimately, I think what happened was I think the ownership and the franchise's heart was in the right place. I just don't think that the city did them any favors, especially with the whole stadium situation, not wanting to do anything about it. So I feel bad. I feel bad for Phoenix because I know there's some loyal dudes down there. And with the NHL season, I mean, Phoenix has already been eliminated. Like they've been eliminated from playoff contention for a minute now. But the fact that they informed them today that they are moving to Utah, I mean, at least the difference was at least they told them. At least they weren't like the Colts where they packed up on the Mayflower and they just packed to Indianapolis. So I mean, at least that's fine. It's just wow. I just cannot believe that I'm sitting here today seeing that the Phoenix Coyotes are. Well, they're no longer Phoenix Coyotes. They are now the Utah Coyotes. So it's
That's so weird.
It is a little weird for me because Arizona Coyotes are, that's what it was, and the thing was, I think if Gretzky couldn't make it happen, nothing can. Nothing can.
And here's the problem. You can do like Boston with the Celtics, where they kind of. They lent out the TD guard for the Brewers in the Celtics. So I'm assuming, for Utah, you got to probably maybe have the Jazz in.
I think so. And I think that's what's going to happen until they get their own stadium. Because ultimately, you're going. The thing is, you don't relocate a franchise for nothing. You're going for the stadium. You're going for. And here's the thing: Utah does have land. Utah is open. So, I mean, you can do what you want to do. I mean, you will get that stadium because nobody leaves a city, nobody leaves a state to another place if you're not getting a new stadium. You are getting a new stadium.
And you just had to experience this a couple years ago with the Raiders leaving Oakland.
I mean, it wasn't just the Raiders. It was the Rams leaving St. Louis. It was the Chargers leaving San Diego. And I'm going to be honest with you. I still don't think that stops. It's something. And here's the thing. It wouldn't shock me by the year of like 2040 if we have teams in Canada or Mexico. Honest to God. Honest to God, it would not surprise me if Mexico or Canada has.
It would be. I think it would be hard to have a team in Mexico.
Not really.
Reason why it's got like the fan base will automatically be like the Raiders.
Well, it would be a Latino base, like the Raiders, the Cowboys.
So
it would be hard.
But Canada, I definitely would say Canada.
Because I mean, eventually you have to see it, right? Like, I can't see that far. That to me, it would be like that would be the biggest travesty the NFL can ever do. And I'm not saying that London doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying, who like, dude, I don't want to go to London. Like, if think about this, if your last choice to play professional football was in London, and you have to do all that crazy traveling, I'm good, bro.
Okay, see, for the kids in this world that don't remember this, I remember the NFL Europe.
Yeah, but that was NFL Europe, where you played in Europe. You didn't keep going back and forth. You didn't be like, okay, so week 2, we got to play the Patriots. So week 3, we got to play London. And then week 4, we got to play the Chargers. Like, dude, you are in 3 different coast and time zones. This is fucked up. Like, I can totally see where,
They need to bring that shit back. Am I the only one that want to see NFL?
Well, we have it. It's called the UFL. I mean,
I want to see the NFL.
I get it. I know. I get it. So, no, and I'll be honest with you. I will be honest with you. Tying this all in, it sucks for Phoenix, but good for Utah for at least showing the interest to do it, because it is hard. It is hard. And I'm going to be honest with you, when it comes to hockey, they're not going to be. Utah's not the first team. Phoenix is not the first team. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm telling you right now. It wouldn't shock me if some teams on a certain fan base on the East Coast came to the Midwest. It would not shock me. It wouldn't shock me if some teams on the West Coast came to the Midwest. It wouldn't shock me. I'm just saying, it's just one of those things where eventually teams get old, stadiums get old, you want a new one, city can't do it. Well, I am an NHL franchise. I do have money, so I'm going to look what's up. And I think that's the issue with teams leaving for me is this. The Chargers leaving San Diego, I blame more that on the Chargers. Because the Spanos family had the money. They just didn't want to do it. St. Louis and the Rams, I kind of give it 50-50. That was 50-50. Listen, St. Louis didn't make it easy, but the Rams didn't make it easier on St. Louis either. So it was 50-50. It was just bound to be a divorce, right? The Raiders leaving Oakland, I blame that shit more on Oakland than I do the Raiders, because Oakland said, I'd rather have 81 home games. I'd rather have 81 home games of baseball than 41 basketball games and 10 football games.
And they lost both of their fucking teams to Vegas.
2 out of the 3 are in Vegas.
Shit, that's fucking embarrassing.
So that I put that more on Oakland. Phoenix, the Coyotes leaving Phoenix, I blame that more on the state of Arizona, because they just didn't want to try to get anything done.
And you got to put into perspective also with them leaving. You got to put into perspective. They might not have been a draw, right? Like, you got the Suns in their season, and the Suns are way more impactful right now.
And then NFL is always going to be king.
NFL, and now you got baseball back with the Diamondbacks being in the World Series last year.
It's a hard draw. It's a hard draw. But I think with Utah, the only competition you have is Utah football.
Yeah, the Jazz when they're good,
but when they're not, it's like, oh, well, I mean, you guys want to. When they're good, you know. I don't know when that good is, but it's when they're good.
Eventually, they get their shit.
I don't know. But yeah, no, I just feel bad. I do feel bad, but I blame this more on the state of Arizona.
Can they change the name? Because when Utah got the Jazz from New Orleans, they never changed the fucking name. There's no Jazz in Utah. Why the fuck are you calling them the Jazz?
I don't know.
Like, get rid of the name. Like, why the fuck are you calling the goddamn?
You know how? Well, I mean, you know how confusing it was that it was like, okay, well, it's the Hornets. Well, now they're the Charlotte Hornets. Well, now they're back in New Orleans, so it's the New Orleans Hornets. Well, they moved back to Charlotte, so now they're the Charlotte Bobcats. Now they came back.
We had at least the nerve to say, you know what? Let's change the fucking name at some point.
The Pelicans.
That's the state bird. That's the state bird. What you want us to do?
I mean, I don't know. Fuck is anything else? A bird?
It's the state bird. What do you want us to do?
Okay, then define the baby crackhead that you guys have. Like, what is that? What is that? Is like the first time I saw that, and I'm like, is that a crackhead baby? I literally like got into my Cat Williams mode, and I'm like, who's? I literally got like the first time I saw the Pelicans take the court, and I saw that little mascot come out. I'm like, whose goddamn white baby is that?
It's an homage to Mardi Gras. Because we have like Mardi Gras, we got a king cake, and they got a baby inside. And if you get the baby, you got like buy a king cake. That's what they used to do in school. So that's what it kind of represents.
Holy fuck. All right. See, you learn something new every day. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's New Orleans history for everybody out there. They didn't know that shit. Yeah. It's like a king cake. You want to get it during Mardi Gras.
Do you understand how hard it is to watch that game when you're drunk, though, and you see that drunk? It's fucking scary. I literally thought it was come to get me. Like, fuck. It almost made me put down the bottle for good. Like, I gotta put this shit down. This is just too much. I gotta put this shit down. You want another shot? Like, man, this Jack Daniels is kicking my ass.
I am seeing shit. What is going on?
I don't, it's just man. I don't know what to say. But overall, terrible.
Big ass baby on TV.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Like, whose goddamn white baby is that? This is your baby, okay? He's just light skinned. Mm-hmm. See, that one might be mine. Just because you named him Darren, don't mean he belonged to Darren. It doesn't mean he belongs to Darren. All right. I don't care what this baby's name is. This baby is light skinned. He is a Viking from the mountain of Caucasus. Like, he has a credit score of 750 right now. Right now. This is your baby. You're the only one I ever been with. Bitch, you know how long I've been in here? I have been in here for 16 consecutive years. You know what consecutive means, right? You know what consecutive means, right? Yeah. It means right after the motherfucking other. So what I'm trying to say is you've been having some conjugal visits with some motherfucker. That's not my goddamn baby. Hey man, you can't be saying that stuff about my mom, man. You know what, young man? I apologize. You're right. I apologize. It's just this bitch. Oh, here we go. It's just this lady right here. It's just, you know what? This lady right here. Oh, terrible. But all right. And it sucks because it ties into the Arizona Cardinals, and we get that's just fate, man. That's just sports fate, man. That's just, hey, sports fate waits for nobody. So here we go. All right, Brendan. So with the 27th pick in the 2024 NFL draft, who do you have Arizona Well, first, remind everybody who you took number 4. Who did you take number 4?
I took for number 4 of Arizona, Malik Neighbors.
All right. And I took Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver out of Ohio State. So here we go. So, Brandon, now with the 27th pick, who do you got?
With the 27th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Arizona Cardinals will select Cooper DeJean, cornerback, Iowa. Yeah. Listen, looking at this depth chart for Arizona, yes, receiver is one thing. Lord have mercy, do they not have a secondary?
Lord have mercy.
Lord have mercy, do they not have a secondary? I was looking at that, I'm like, shit, somebody gonna score it on tonight.
To this day.
It's bad. And I was like, there's gotta be something. I don't know, even with the kid from UCLA, but I was like, nah, they need a cornerback. They need an actual fucking cornerback. And it was between Kool-Aid, McKenzie, and Cooper DeJean. And Cooper, for me, I feel like fits better with Arizona. Because even though he might automatically be the best cornerback in the whole fucking room when he gets there, immediately as he steps off the plane, I think he's already the best cornerback in Arizona.
You are the best defensive back on this room. You mean corner? No. Safety, everything. You might be the best one.
I'm the best one. And that's the thing. I don't know about his foot injury. I don't. But what I will say is this, man. If you can play in the Big Ten and go up against Marvin Harrison Jr., the receivers from Michigan, the receivers from Penn State, and still hold your own, you got something. You can do things. Like, you ain't no scrub. It's the Big Ten of all places, too. The Big Ten is not an offensive-driven league, like talking about it. But for the years that he played, he's been one of the guys, man. He's been one of the most consistent cornerbacks in college football. So I feel like him going to Arizona would easily fit. And it would also, something that this head coach doesn't have, John Gannon doesn't have, his cornerback. The year that he went to the Super Bowl, that secondary, just as much as that defense of line, but that secondary was one of the best secondaries in the NFL. Gardner Johnson, Darius Slade, Maddox,
James Bradbury.
Like they had an actual secondary. He needs his guy. Cooper DeJean will be his guy. That's just Gardner Johnson.
Yeah. I would love to have Cooper DeJean still, but he's gone. He gone. I took him yesterday. He gone. So there's no coming back from that. Yeah, he's already gone. You know, it is what it is. You know, I looked at that depth chart too, and I said, man, Marvin Harrison Jr., one side, dare I do it? I looked at it, and I'm like, man, him, Brian Thomas, Kean Coleman, Xavier Mitchell, Leggett from South Carolina, that would be a great 1-2 punch. And I almost did it. But then I started looking down too, and I said, wow. Like, I can understand not going corner at 4 because you really need help at wide receiver. But damn, you need some help too here. So, unfortunately, as much as I would love to, and as much as my greediness would love to get in the way, I would love to add a Brian Thomas Jr. here and just be like, hey, bombs away, motherfucker. Bombs away. We might get scored 55, but we'll score 56. You know, some shit. They might score 60, but we'll score 63. And we'll just keep doing that until the wheels fall off. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because there's obviously talent in every draft. And, it wouldn't be surprising to me if they did this route, where they double dip in the first, like, every round, just something. But I don't think that's going to happen. I truly think that's not going to happen. So for me, with the 27th pick in this year's draft, I selected GaQuincy, a.k.a. Kool-Aid McKinstry, cornerback, Alabama. Now, what's not to love about this guy, right? 6'1", 195 pounds, first team All-American in 2023, two-time first team All-SEC in 22 and 23. Now, 32 tackles, 7 pass deflections, and he also, just like Cooper DeJean, he is a return specialist too. I think for this, though, I think this would be the best situation for McKinstry. This would be because he will have a coach that will get him ready. Because let's be real, McKinstry, yes, as good as he is, he still needs some work. He's not like his counterpart, Terrion Arnold, or Nate Wiggins, or Mitchell, or Cooper DeJean. So there's a reason he kind of fell after being so hyped up last year. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have any talent. And there you go, Alabama fans. There you go. Your guy's finally off the board. He made it in the first round. You guys happy? You guys happy? Good. You guys are what? They're never happy. It's like, no, he should have been number 1 overall. Chicago's not going to draft Kool-Aid and McKinstry number 1 overall.
Do it. I hope you do it. So you can do it. I hope you do it. Everybody getting fired. Every single person.
Your soul is even getting fired. But no, I think for McKinstry here, going to Jonathan Gannon will probably be the best fit for him. He will teach him how to play corner in the NFL. He will teach his scheme. He will teach the techniques. He will get him ready. And I don't expect this guy to do anything year 1 other than just try, right? I would say we'll see the big jump from him from year 2 going to year 3. And I think that's what it is. I think it is a need. Let's be honest. It is a need.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a talented need. But I think he has to get some playing time. I think eventually it's like anything else. If you keep doing it over and over, you're going to get better at it. You're going to get better at it. You're going to get better at it. So at this point, he can either be, a really good corner, really great corner. Or he could just be a solid number 2 guy for the rest of his career. But the ultimate 2. Or he can go to a team like, hey, if you have a shutdown corner and you have this dude on your field, oh, you're good. Your secondaries are good, bro.
Yeah, it's not bad, neither, too.
It's really not, because you're still going up against very talented motherfuckers.
Yeah, just not the big guy. That's it.
So I just think for McKinstry, he comes here, there is going to be pressure because, like you mentioned, the secondary room, he could possibly be the best corner in the room, in the cornerback room, the second he walks into that freaking locker room, right? But it's a start. You have to start somewhere. We already know Marvin Harrison Jr. will be the best wide receiver in that fucking room. Like, let's not get it twisted.
Easily.
Like, Marquise Brown could still be there and be like, what about me? Marvin Harrison Jr. hasn't taken a snap, and I know he's the best wide receiver in the fucking room, okay? Like, I know this. And I know that sounds like a lot of pressure for a kid that, maybe his combine, because of his injury, he didn't participate in the combine. He participated in the pro day, and it wasn't as exciting. But you know what? Neither was Joe Hayden's, and he turned out just fine. And that's where I see this kid can go. He can either be a longtime Joe Hayden or a short-term DJ Hayden. He got drafted in the first. It didn't pan out. And then he bounced around the teams, and he had a solid NFL career. Nothing spectacular, but he just wasn't the guy. He wasn't meant to be the guy, and that's what it is. So it's either he'll have a long-term successful career like Joe Hayden, or he'll be a DJ Hayden where, now the only difference is you pick him at 27 and not 13. That's the only difference. But at least you could say, hey, we gave him a shot and he's still playing in the NFL. So it wasn't like it was a total waste. It just didn't pan out. But it's what you guys need. It's what Arizona needs help with right now. So the worst case scenario, it ends up like Jeff Okuda. It just never pans out, and the relationship flames out. So I don't know. So again, we went defensive back, but we just went totally different in everything. So we went totally different. So it is what it is. I think tomorrow, though. Well, I don't even think tomorrow we're gonna get the right pick tomorrow either. Too. I think this year we're just only gonna have one together, and that's Dallas Turner.
It really does seem like the way it's gonna be. Yeah.
Dallas Turner. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Our only good pick together.
Not only do we agree that they need to go defense in Atlanta, we agree that they need to go defensive end in Atlanta. And the kid from Alabama does fit the profile perfectly.
You hear that, Atlanta? You hear that? But no, I think for me, I think I have to go with McKinstry here because one, it is a need, and two, he still is a talented player. Like that's not what I'm saying. It's just with Gannon. I think with Jonathan Gannon, he will get more out of him than any other coach.
And again, we are seeing it. We're seeing exactly what we're seeing. We're like, yeah, these secondaries suck. Like, this is bad. Like this was. I saw that yesterday. I was in the doctor's office. I'm just sitting there. I saw that secondary. I was like, who the fuck are these guys? Like, who the fuck is these guys? I didn't know who was who. I'm like, holy shit, this is bad, Arizona.
Well, this is rough. This is rough. So it is what it is. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, we know it's like, yeah, it's secondary. Regardless, it's secondary. So that's just what it is. So, all right. That was pick number 27. Tomorrow will be pick 28. The all great Buffalo Bills are on the clock. And I'm not saying that we're going to have fun with tomorrow's episode, but it's already kind of like a default. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Kansas City, maybe at the end, where it's like, hey, man, it's a default pick.
It's a default pick. We can honestly say it's a default pick. We can honestly say it's a default pick.
It is totally default. Like, it is, I mean, it is what it is. That's just the bed that they made, That's just the bed that they made, and, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just tomorrow's going to be interesting on how we look at the Buffalo Bills. It's just tomorrow will be a little weird. So, but above all else, Brandon, as always, my man, it is always awesome talking to you.
It's about to be a fight in the Lakers Grizzlies game.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, LeBron James dunked the shit out the ball, and the Memphis Grizzlies head coach didn't like that shit at all. But your player threw him the ball. What the fuck?
But your player threw him the ball. Like, what do you want him to do? Just take it?
The fucking ball. What did LeBron supposed to do? Stop mid-dunk? Like, I've seen him do it. I mean, it's not like he can't do it, but still.
Yes, I'm going to stop mid-air. I'm just going to stop right here. I don't know. Memphis, man, poor Memphis. The potential was there. It just never panned out. And that sucks. But
the Pelicans winning, so that's great. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. We really have to play Golden State at the play-in. I fucking knew it. I knew it. I knew that was going to happen. And I'm like, yeah, that might be our season, guys. Because if Draymond starts hitting threes again.
Oh my God! If Draymond hits threes in a playoff game, man, I'm not even gonna be like.
Don't get me wrong. I'm glad the Lakers won. Don't get me wrong. But the fact is, if Draymond Green goes 5 for 5 at threes again, and Steph and Clay go on a shooting spree, fuck it. It was a great year.
Fuck it.
It is what it is. Fuck it. It was a great year.
He's like, fuck it. Let's get ready for next year.
Moving on.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Like, pack your shit and go, because you're always going to be the road team. So just pack your shit and go. Ah, terrible. Terrible. But as always, Brandon, it's awesome talking to you, my man. I hope you have a wonderful night. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you all tomorrow for the Buffalo Bills are on the clock. So everybody have fun with that. Everybody have a wonderful Friday, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.